A city slept through the New Year's first hours. Up on a ridgeline above Pacific Palisades, a small flame found air. 6 days later, Los Angeles woke to its most destructive wildfire in memory. 12 people gone, thousands of homes erased. And now a name in handcuffs. Prosecutors say one man lit the first spark. The government's version is blunt. Just after midnight, Jan 1, 2025, a small brush fire dubbed the Lachman Fire ignites near the Skull Rock Trail. Fire crews stop forward progress after a few hours, mop up for 36 hours, and leave. But the fire doesn't die. It smolders underground in roots. On Jan 7th, fierce winds drag it back to the surface. That holdover becomes the Palisades Fire, a firestorm that scorches 223,400 acres and levels 6,800 post structures across the Palisades Malibu edge. On October 7, 2025, the FBI arrests Jonathan Rinderknecht, 29, in Florida on a federal complaint, destruction of property by means of fire. A week later, a grand jury adds 2 more felonies, arson affecting interstate commerce and timber set afire, exposing him to a 5 to 45-year federal sentence if convicted. He's ordered held and will be moved to Los Angeles for arraignment. Prosecutors say the Lachman ignition wasn't an accident. Pieces they've previewed, geolocation data from his iPhone placing him 30 feet from the origin as the fire grew, contradicting his interview claim that he first saw it from the trail bottom. Surveillance plus witness statements that track his movements after an Uber shift near Pacific Palisades. A digital image on his phone, an AI ChatGPT generated burning city visual the DOJ says he created days before. Context, it's an alleged state-of-mind clue, not proof by itself. Cause analysis from ATF's Fire Research Lab. Open flame ignition. No fireworks captured in extensive video of the area at that time. Note, locals long suspected fireworks. The affidavit disputes that. His attorney calls the case thin, arguing there is no direct link between a small New Year's brush fire and a mega fire that reemerged 6 days later amid wind events, and accusing the government of scapegoating one person for a multi-day failure. Expect aggressive challenges to causation, expert methods, and the digital forensics that put him near the origin. If jurors accept the holdover theory, causation becomes straightforward. The Jan 1 ignition didn't end, it hid. When the winds returned, so did the flame. Same fire, new chapter. That's why the chain from Lachman, Palisades, is the case. If the chain breaks, so does the top count. Prosecutors emphasize this was one continuous event. Containment failed because the fire lived underground. The acreage, this X23400, is 5x Manhattan. The structures, 6,800 plus, span homes, small businesses, community anchors. Estimated dollar losses reach into the tens of billions. This wasn't just a wildfire, it was a housing event, an insurance event, a migration event. Numbers vary by source and revision. The LA Times cites 23,400 acres and 6,800 plus structures as of the latest reporting. Arraignment in LA federal court, plea expected. CIPA issues? Maybe not. This isn't a national security case, but experts, modeling, and sensitive infrastructure video could trigger protective orders. Daubert battles over fire origin science. They show you alternate cause theories, fireworks, accidental ember, smolder in roots, independent of defendant. Venue and jury concerns, saturation coverage in L. A. Expect deep voir dire. If convicted on all counts, sentencing range is wide, 5 to 45 years. A match can be malice, a smolder can be policy. If the government ties one man to a week later Inferno, it changes not just this case, but how cities think about mop-up, sensors, wind windows, and handoff protocols when out doesn't mean dead. If the chain breaks, the story pivots. From a villain to a vacuum, system gaps, resource timing, and the physics of roots in drought. Either way, the lesson is ugly and useful. In Fire Country, the smallest lie is the one a coal tells itself. I'm done.